What's going on, people out there? You know who it is. It's Marcus Griffin. I am one of your hosts for Intermission. We come to you with another great episode of Intermission. Before we get started, you know what to do. Go over to Facebook at Intermission Pod. Go ahead and follow our show. Go ahead and like our page, as well as go to Instagram and follow us on Intermission Podcast so you get all the latest updates that we're going to be giving y'all, as well as, trailers here and there, a little bit of movie news. But yeah, in the building, it's just me. There's no Erlene, no Howard, no Jarvis. I told y'all last week I was gonna be in here. I was gonna be in here, and I was gonna be talking about Spider-Man, as well as we got a little bit of the Little Mermaid casting news, and we also got. I want to say that we're gonna talk about. I forgot what else is on my running show. Look at this. I have to balance everything out. Solo dolo in here. Oh, Will Smith. I want to talk about that first. Will Smith, as great of an actor as he is, been acting. I want to since the early '90s. If you've been following his career, he's had a phenomenal career of a wide variety of films, and it's amazing to me. As the beginning of this year, we heard Aladdin was coming out. Well, we already knew Aladdin was coming out, but we got the trailers, we got more promotion, and we had the doctoring up they had to do for the genie, and how people weren't really sold to how the genie looks, and people start questioning, oh, is Will Smith going to do a good job? Is this movie going to suck? And it's amazing to say that as of today, Aladdin is Will Smith's highest grossing movie, and I think that's really incredible for the simple fact is, who would have thought this? Nobody would have thought that Will Smith would have had the best, this would have been his highest grossing film. We're talking about Independence Day, Bad Boys, Hitch, Hancock, I Am Legend, so many great films, and you telling me that Aladdin is. And before I get a little bit more into that, I want to talk about just how everybody's been criticizing the remakes that Disney has been doing, and they want to say that, oh, well, nobody needs these. We have the cartoons. But I'm like, everybody else is making a remake of old franchise or old characters. So why not Disney revamp it, get it ready, get it popping for a new generation that didn't grow up with Lion King that came back in like 94, Cinderella back in the 70s, or Snow White. I mean, they might as well doctor it up, and they've been doing a really good job in my opinion. And I thought that Aladdin was a great job. I thought Will Smith did a great job. I think he basically played his Hitch character. If you ever seen Hitch, he basically played that character and just turned to a more flamboyant genie, which is fine with me. But with that being said, we're going to slide over to another topic. So there's a discussion out there in the movie sphere that they're talking about Melissa McCarthy being down for the role of Ursula. If you don't know who Ursula is, she is the villain, the little purple lady on Little Mermaid. But on top of her, there's a casting of, what is her name? I think it's Chloe Bailey. She is, if you're not a fan of the show, we talk about Grownish a lot. She is one of the actresses on more than Zoe's friend on Grownish. And what I love about her character is this season she's starting to be more fleshed out as being her own type of person. Yes, she's there with her sister, and they do a great job bouncing off each other. But what I like about her alone is that she has a comedic timing is great, and every time she's there's like a moment of levity that needs to go on, or Zoe's doing the most, or there's like these serious tense moments, she comes in, she just eases the tension. And I love her portrayal of what she does in that show, and I can't wait to see what she's gonna do with, first of all, a black. They turn Ariel black, so that's a shocker for me. First of all, you got a black genie in Will Smith. Now you got a black one in Ariel. Man, they blackifying all Disney, and I'm all here for it. So if you want to give me a Pocahontas with John Smith being black, I'm down for it. I don't know how we gonna believe that. If you want to give me a Mulan and the Eddie Murphy is gonna be playing Mushu again, I'm good for it, man. Give me all the black actors in those Disney movies. I'm all for it. But on another topic I want to talk about with that being said, we're going to slide over to a little bit of movie news. If you want to pull that up for me with Salma Hayek. I don't know too much about the internals. I'm a comic book fanatic, but I'm not gonna say I don't nerd out too much and get into the lore of, like, when Guardians Galaxy was made. I didn't really know what Guardians Galaxy was. So internals are basically what Thanos is. He's a celestial, I want to say like that, and the Eternals is based on the celestial beings. So they have Angelina Jolie. They just cast Salma Hayek. They have Richard Madison. For those you don't know, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, he plays Robb Stark. And he also has this great show. If you ever watch on Netflix, man, what is it called? He's The Bodyguard. Thought he did a great job in that film. I mean, that show. I'm only like 4 episodes in, but he's done a great job. They haven't really. I think Marvel hasn't really dove in and let us know what characters they're going to be playing from the Internals. Even if they told me who they're going to be playing, I would not really know who the hell these people are playing. But it's good to see A-list talent being in movies like this. And Richard Madison, for those who might not consider him an A-list talent, he has 2 successful shows under his belt. On top of that, he came off of Cinderella, which is one of the second highest grossing live action Disney movies that they have made. And on top of that, he's in various other projects that I think that he's going to do well in. So I'm really interested in seeing what Marvel's going to do with Internals, if it's going to be something with the same formula. But in saying that, if you go from, I want to say from Civil War, maybe Winter Soldier, if you want to dial it back some, Marvel has really been doing a great job with their films. They have been less campy, and I'm going to give them less complaints. And I say that with coming off of Endgame, and I finally saw Captain Marvel, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was a great film. And I thought Samuel Jackson stole the film. I thought he was a highlight of just his comedic chops during that movie. But on top of that, I told y'all last week, I said, I'm going to see Spider-Man. So me and the old lady, we went to go see Spider-Man. I was a little nervous. I was like, I hear little rumblings that it's not as good as Homecoming, and I hear little rumblings like, oh, I didn't like the first half, and I heard people complain about little nitpicks here and there. I have to say, with a shadow of doubt, Spider-Man was incredible. I thought it was one of the best Marvel films and the best sequel Marvel films. Like that's saying a lot, because if you come off of like Captain America, Winter Soldier, to some people it's the GOAT. It's the GOAT, the follow-up. I think this movie built on, it increased everything that they did in the original film, in Homecoming. So you have the comedy was spot on. I want to say the acting from everybody from Ned, which is his friend, to Zendaya. I think she was good. I thought that, what's his name? Samuel Jackson did a great job in the character. Once again, if you are a fan of his portrayal in Captain Marvel, he gives you more of that in this movie, and I thought it was a great job. JB Smoove as the principal, he was great. He did a great job. And also, what is his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal did a wonderful job. As when you coming into this film, and a lot of people who have seen the trailers, they feel like they've seen the movie. They feel like they've seen everything that it has to offer. Even if you don't, or you already saw the twist coming, if it, for those out there who have, what I'm talking about. We're not going to dive into spoilers, but there's a twist. And if you saw the twist coming, congratulations for you. But it's so well done in the movie that it doesn't annoy you or bother you that you saw it coming. And it's really fleshed out. I think Jake Gyllenhaal might have been the best. Let's talk about this. Marvel's villains hasn't been the stronger. We had an argument with Ziggy the other day, where it's the running joke is Marvel hasn't had the strongest villains, and they can always do better. But it seems like with their latest, with the Vulture, with what's his name, Killmonger, or you want to do with how they kind of tweak things with the Skrull. People thought that was pretty awesome. I thought that was pretty inventive with Thanos, with the Black Order, with all these different villains, Baron Mordo. It's like, it's so cool to see what they did with Mysterio, and they did it in such a way that I didn't expect it. I didn't think they were going to do this with him. They flipped it on his head. He's still the same type of villain. He's still the same Quentin Beck that you remember from the comic books, but they infuse him with the Marvel Cinematic Universe theme of keeping it realistic. So just think of, once you see the reveal, and they reveal some things that I really want to talk about. I really want to talk about. But once they reveal some things, you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Like it makes so sense. It makes sense how his character was able to jump from that to this. So without giving out too much spoilers, I want to say I think this movie is better than Homecoming. I think this is better than Homecoming because I like the relationship with Zendaya and with what is his name? What is the Spider-Man guy name? Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland and Zendaya did a great job. I think their chemistry jumps off the page. It reminds me of Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, how their relationship was. It was something fresh. It was something new. It wasn't comic booky like what you got with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst and everything. It was just like, oh, let me look at you and give you this this long drawn out conversation that really doesn't mean to nothing. She seems like an actual person, like an actual human being. Like if I went to this school back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I can see why somebody would fall for somebody like her. And she's a relatable MJ, which I like too. And I like it. Once again, we talked about how Disney is blackifying the atmosphere. So you get ready. Zendaya, how they flipped it and made her a black character, which is, I think, could have easily been cliche. They did a great job with it. And for that and the action alone, I would give this movie, I want to say a 9.5. So if you want to give it on out of 5, I give it a 4.5. I think, or 4.75. Better yet, I might get a 4.8. It's that great of a film, and it has so many layers to it. It's only one time I've seen the film, but I find myself thinking about it. I find myself wrestling with these scenes that I remember seeing just one time, and just going back to those and just seeing how well done and fleshed out the story was, as well as the action scenes. I can't say enough how great the action scenes were, and I think for you out there who are a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or you're a fan of Spider-Man, or you're a fan of just going to have a good time at the movies, this is the type of film that I would say take your kids to. You take you and your wife, even take your parents, because I think everybody will enjoy this film. I cannot say enough about the comedy. Best comedy film that's not forced. If you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2, forced. All jokes forced, in my opinion. You watch Endgame, I think it was great. They knew when to drop a joke. Everything wasn't too funny. It wasn't overly funny. It wasn't forced comedy, just like this movie. It's kids doing things that are in line with the world of today. And also, there are 2 post-credit scenes. The first one is a must-see. The second one is also a must-see, but if you miss it, you're not going to die. But I think you should go stay for both of them. I think the first one is a phenomenal scene. There's a spoiler in there. I see why Marvel doesn't want anybody talking about this. There's a character in the movie that I don't want to spoil. It's going to shock everybody. Everyone's going to be blown away. And I think everybody who is a fan of Spider-Man is going to lose their shit when they see this character. That's all I'm going to say. That's enough. That's enough teasing out there. So to go on to our next topic, I want to talk about trailers. Since it's just me, there's not too much conversation going on. The show's going to seem a little bit shorter. So we're going to go into our first trailer, which is going to be... Oh, first of all, before we even get into trailers, I don't want to talk about trailers. I want to talk about what I've been watching, because I think it's time for me to hype y'all up. Chernobyl. I keep talking about this every week. I finally finished Chernobyl. It's only 5 episodes. HBO. Phenomenal. I cannot explain. I know we're in a time where everybody wants to say that you should read more, but I'm too lazy to read. So I'm too lazy to read up on Chernobyl and what happened back in the day or what was going on. So thank you, HBO and whoever created this series, for making a great series that explained a lot of the events of Chernobyl that I knew nothing about, and delivering it in a way that was authentic as well as informative. And that's the type of miniseries and documentaries I like, where I can sit down and learn something and actually grasp it, and doing it in such a way that it's captivating and that it wants me to go talk to, I want to say, whoever I bump in down the street, or tell y'all about it, because I want all y'all to watch it. So if you have not done yourself this favor, go check out Chernobyl. Get the free 1 week HBO Go, HBO Now, whatever it is. Text me, hit me up. I might give you a password and let you use mine just to watch those 5 episodes. Then you got to get off. Well, yeah, you need to ask me for it, because that show is phenomenal. On top of that, I've also been watching Netflix, and I just said with Richard Madison, I've been watching The Bodyguard, which is basically a film where he's going through post-traumatic stresses of being in I want to say a war. They haven't really delved into the war of what he's been going through, but he has to protect this. She's a higher up official, and people are out to kill her. So basically he has to protect her, but he protects her in a way of she is the enemy to him, because she is the reason why he had to go to war, because it was because her signature, her sign off, why he had to go to war in the first place, why he's dealing with these issues, or why he can't have his wife, and why he can't see his kids, and why he has to deal with the stresses of just trying to normalize his life after being through such a traumatic event. And I think he does a great job in this role. I think that I don't know the lady's name in this role, but I think she did a great job. I love their chemistry at first, how they didn't like each other, and how their romantic relationship starts to evolve. I think it's quite natural. So got Netflix, go and check that out. And one other film I want to say I watched, and I got to think about it. What other film did I watch? Give me a moment, y'all. Y'all need to listen to Kendrick right quick. I can't remember the other film. It was another film that I watched. I watched so much stuff, started to process it all. But so for y'all, Chernobyl. Go out there and watch The Bodyguard. Oh, the film I did watch. This was the show I watched. I talk about this every week. Queen Sugar. Queen Sugar is another black staple TV show that I think everybody should be watching. It's on OWN network. Don't scream at me and say, oh, nobody wants to watch Queen Sugar. Queen Sugar is just more appeals to women. I don't believe that. I think it's there's so many layers to this show. I feel as a human being, I'd like to question, when I watch an episode of Queen Sugar, I like to question my own reality, and I question my own mistakes and things I do, and it makes me want to be a better person after watching the show, because you see these characters that are flawed. They're trying to work it out. They're trying to deal with life the best way they can, and it makes me want to be a better person and approach life better, and look at life and its pitfalls, and not look at it as a downfall, but look at it as somewhere I can grow out of. And I love how this show tackles, and it shows you the different sides of situations that we go with as just as human beings, but as black human beings. And I will always endorse this show, Blackish, Grownish, things of that push the culture forward. So those are some of the shows I always tell you to watch, but those really hit home in the last couple of weeks. I think y'all would really enjoy those, as well as Spider-Man. So go check those out. So, since it's just me, conversation won't be too long. We're about to get to some good trailers. Now, for our first trailer, I gotta see, what is our first trailer? Charlie's Angels. Ooh, Jesus. This trailer is, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's really terrible in my opinion. I think it's a horrible trailer. I think it's probably one of the worst trailers I've seen this year so far. It's not so much as in that it's the cast looks terrible. I think the cast looks great. I think not Kirsten. I was about to say Kirsten Dunst. What is the lady's name from? Look at that. I'm just brain fart. The girl from Twilight, Kristen Stewart. I think she looks less mean. I mean, a lot of people love to criticize and say how mean she looks and how she has this like dry, stale tone. And I think she actually gave a lot of personality in this trailer. So look for that. As well as my girl from that played Princess Jasmine. She's in this film, and I think she could never go wrong with her. I think she's good in everything she plays in. There she go right there. Look at that. I see you, Kristen Stewart. Look at that, busting those moves. See, the only reason why I say I didn't like this trailer is because it just looks so cliche. Oh, and that's one thing that we get to that Sony dropped on us. There's a bunch of Bosleys. It's not just one Bosley. It's an organization of Bosleys. Oh, how clever. Whatever. Well, there you go. Cliche fight scene. Cliche chase scene. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I watch too much Game of Thrones. Maybe I want a little bit more out of my films. Hey, hello, Elizabeth Banks. It's nice to see you there. Who is the director? And if you do not know who Elizabeth Banks is, she plays the iconic role as the bimbo that works at the bookstore of 40-year-old Virgin. Funny role, hilarious role. Oh, she also plays Rita Repulsa on Power Rangers. Nobody want to see that. You can skip that film. Look at that. It's Kristen Stewart. She doesn't look dry. Like, she looks like she got a nice little haircut. She looked like she got a little more personality, a little more pep in her step. See, I don't know if it's like I was saying earlier with Game of Thrones or like some of the more heavier shows I watch, that I just want more. I wanted more out of this franchise. I wish they could have, I want to say, took it the like James Bond route. Let's get it from the beginning. What made us create an organization of like where we just only hire women? Like, let's dive a little bit deeper in that. Maybe they do dive in that. I don't know, but I just want a little bit more grittier, less more campy and cliche, as I've said multiple times. I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was just like, Jesus, why Hollywood? Why do you constantly give us garbage that we're not asking for? Oh, Jesus, man. They could have kept that film. I mean, it looks poo. I mean, I thought Aladdin was going to be poo, and Aladdin just shocked me. I was like, oh, man, this movie was actually pretty good. So we're going to get past that. There's nothing to really dive in on that. I did my little talking I wanted to say on Charlie's Angel. So if you want to check that out, I'm pretty sure we're going to discuss it a little bit more as we get closer to the release date. But for right now, it gets 2 thumbs down. I'm just playing. No, it gets one of these. I mean, it might be cool. Straight to Netflix. But hey, if you think about it, if you look at that trailer, Sony made this, and Sony did what? Gave us Men in Black, and Men in Black was what? Shitty. So remember that. And this next trailer we got is Hobbs and Shaw, which I think is going to be ridiculous, but a damn good time. Let's pop that trailer. Okay, so this is the funny thing about this trailer is I didn't see the trailer when it had came out during its original release, which was during this week, I guess, or last week. And I was in Spider-Man. I was sitting down. I was like, oh, what is this? So I was like, oh, yeah, it looks Hobbs and Shaw. It's going to be cliche. And it was just seen right here where I'm just like, okay, this is the type of ridiculous shit that I want to see in a movie. Look at this. Sign me up for this shit. Like, give me that, man. I'm sold with that. Let's get it, Idris. Like, that's good. That's good action right there. Now, I don't know how he can slide on the floor like that, how he was able to hold on to that motorcycle. Ooh. I don't know how he survived it. Oh, he's indestructible. That's what it was. I forgot about that. Can't forget about that. Oh, yeah, and they got Hove in the background. Shout out to Jay-Z. Oh, shit, the motorcycle drive by itself? I missed that one. That's pretty low. Oh, while we're talking about this, or while we're watching this film, the girl who's playing his sister is also rumored to play or be in talks to play Catwoman for the new Batman film. So, hey, pay attention to y'all. Pay attention to her if you go see this film. See if she has the acting chops or she has the cachet to carry that character. Because Anne Hathaway did a great job. Oh yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, she did a great job too. But that's a Batman for a different time because that was before my time. Okay, Rocky had a show off for the women. See, this is where it might get a little cliche, but I'm gonna enjoy it because it's The Rock. It's like Rock is one of those people like Rock and Keanu Reeves, and if I think a little bit longer, I can find some other people that we don't mind their foolishness in their movies. We're like, okay, it's fine. Give us the Michael Bay effects. It's cool. We ain't gonna trip. If I see Tom Cruise in some shit like this on the next Mission Impossible, man, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Tom Cruise. All right, y'all. Y'all saw The Rock fall. If he lands on his feet, man, this is about to be an issue. I mean, August 2nd. I mean, hey, they're wrapping up summer, so I'm pretty sure. I mean, hopefully it's something good. I personally think it's going to be over the top like all the Fast and Furious movies, but I will not criticize those movies because they are entertaining, especially the last one. I thought the last one was really, really entertaining. I thought Charlize Theron was a great villain, so, I mean, hey, we're going to check out that one. We're going to have a review coming for that as soon as that one hits. I may not give you that review because I may not be watching that one in theaters, but I will talk to y'all through Facebook or on a good post. So for our last trailer of today, I have no idea. See how I got to deal with this by myself. I don't know. Oh, it's Jumanji. Jumanji the next level. Once again, another Rock movie. So hey, get ready for it. Oh, and if you didn't see the well, not the first Jumanji, but I guess the one that was recently made, I thought it was great. Did you like it? I thought it was way better. I thought it was going to be some. Okay, Aladdin, Jumanji. I could throw Planet of the Apes in there. There's some movies out there that I think that were going to be terrible, and they just like, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Didn't expect that one. Oh, yeah, Danny DeVito's in this movie. That's another good shocker. I didn't see that. And what is his name? Danny Glover is in this movie. I think that's shocking that Danny. When's the last time we've seen Danny Glover in a movie? I think he had a cameo on the Lethal Weapon TV show. I might be lying on that one, but I'm gonna throw that one out there. So I like the twist that they did, that it's not just the same characters being the same avatars in the game. That the grandpa is playing The Rock is hilarious. Now, okay, y'all, if y'all follow the show, y'all know that Kevin Hart, I'm not the strongest Kevin Hart fan, but I thought he did a great job in the first Jumanji, as well as like Get Hard and a few films he's in. I hope he doesn't annoy me with that. Oh, I gotta talk like this, like I'm in the past. If he does that the whole film, it could really get annoying, but I'm gonna roll with it. It is what it is. Hopefully they have a fresh take on it. And I think this is a Disney film. I mean, Jesus, man, Disney is fucking killing it, man. It's like Disney is like lapped everybody, and we're just praying that we can catch up. And if you haven't noticed that the kid that I guess got sucked in at the beginning of the game is nowhere to be found, or we don't know what avatar he's playing, so that's something interesting. They have to find him. It may be a surprise on who he's playing. Who knows? I mean, it looks pretty good. Look at that. You can tell they upped the budget. Look at them budget. Them monkeys look nice. I think it's funny. See, I thought that was pretty funny, man. See, that's when Kevin Hart works, man. Kevin Hart works in sporadic moments, man. I don't always want to hear Kevin Hart. I don't always want to deal with his stick. But when he hits, sometimes he hits, especially if you have kids or if you just want to sneak all to yourself and watch Secret Life of Pets. I think he sells me on those films because those could be really terrible cliche type films. I guess that's the word of the day for today's episode. Is going to be cliche. He does a great job of his animated character, and I think he did a great job. He did a great job on Captain Underpants. I thought he was awesome as the kid, the little black kid, whatever his name is. Do you know his name? Harold. That could be. That is it. That sounds like a Kevin Hart type of character, Harold. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. It's been solo dolo in here. It's all good, but we kept it light and funky. I gave you a little bit of Spider-Man update. Gave you some nice trailer breakdowns. We also talked about the Eternals casting and good Disney remake. So if you like the episode, share the episode, share it with your friends, your family, all that good stuff. And always tune in here next week. Well, we will be here, the whole crew, probably at 6:30 sharp. I know we came a little early. You'll be all right. Catch the episode. If you're tuning in at 6:30, guess what? Guess what? When you tune in at 6:30, you'll have a full episode. There you go. You ain't got to sit and listen to me talk. You can just fast forward through some of the parts that I messed up on or some of the parts you don't want to listen to. So y'all take it easy out there. We'll see you next week. Peace.